And for two clubs who have enjoyed the benefits of regular competition against continental opposition, it can't have been a very pleasant experience and surely strengthened their resolve to qualify next time round. Today, the two clubs met at Pittodrie in what is traditionally a closely fought encounter. Jock Brown was there.
A view of the golf links and the beach from Pittodrie. A view which will be obliterated by a brand new stand at the beach end, scheduled for completion in time for the start of next season. But the attention this afternoon will be on these 11 Aberdeen players. Theo Snelders is back, but there's no Alec McLeish, Roy Aitken or Jim Bett. So Lee Richardson and Theo Tenkat join Brian Grant in midfield, with Brian Irvin restored to central defence. And the only ever present in Aberdeen's starting lineup this season has been Gary Smith, who's now wearing a number 6 jersey occupied for so long with distinction by his manager Willie Miller. Just 21 years old, he was a bargain buy at £200,000 from Falkirk a year ago. The wheels came off the United League Challenge in the last 2 matches, so manager Jim McLean has made changes. Dave Neary is injured, and out go youngsters Grant Johnson, Paddy Connolly and Christian Daly. Back come Jim McInally and Dave Bowman to add experience and steel to the midfield, with Duncan Ferguson clear suspension to play up front. And it's a United debut for Scott Crabb, signed in a £300,000 deal from Hearts on Thursday, and he's anxious to establish the form which produced 17 goals for the Tynecastle club last season. The referee this afternoon, one of our most experienced officials, a FIFA man, Bill Crombie from Edinburgh. It's misty and damp overhead as United in their changed white tops start the match, coming off 2 straight defeats without scoring a goal against Dundee and Rangers, but anxious to recapture the form which, and then 2 victories here at Pittodrie last season in the league. Dave Winnie in trouble there for that initial tackle on midfield man there. It is Alec Cleland who is the victim of that challenge. So Cleland appears to be all right. Bowman's free kick. Ferguson up very early. Patalainen back helping in the Aberdeen defence. Cleared well by Irvin. Bowman laying it back, there's McKinley. White's clearance helped on its way by Richardson. So McInally playing the ball through from a defensive position. That's where he started. The anchor role in midfield, I think, for McInally this afternoon. Chase there for Ferguson, beating the ball by Irvin. It's McInally. Across some Crabb for the right foot effort there from Billy McKinley. Treated with great respect by Theo Snelders. Well, he does have a terrific dig in that right foot, Billy McKinley. You won't see many better examples than that, and Snelders taking no chances at all. Clark up there with Patalainen. Here's Tenkat. Still good play by Tenkat. Good goalkeeping positioning by Alan Main. Well, he had a fine match last week against Rangers, although he lost 4 goals, Alan Main, but this time he's in just the right place as Tenkat came surging forward. He took the break of the ball here for the first time volley. United playing with Clark and Van der Hoorn in central defence. Cleland at right back, Malpass at left back. And they have a free kick for that challenge by Irvin on Ferguson. John Clark attempting a long-range effort there. That's well struck. Snelders at full stretch, and the ball was swept away there by Gary Smith, who was not prepared to take any chance at all there. Here's Bowman and Crabb. Interception made by Winnie, who was fouled by Bowman. That takes some pressure off the Aberdeen defence. It was an excellent free kick, that, from John Clark from fully 30 yards plus, and Snelders had to scramble. Patalainen cross by Van der Hoorn. There's Richardson. Well, he didn't have any real power in the shot, but it looked as though it might sneak in at the corner. Pulled across here by Patalainen, and well controlled by Richardson. He hadn't much time for the shot. Clearance by Winnie. Shearer finds Jess operating well in the right, up front for Aberdeen. That's pass intercepted well by Bowman. Ted Cat would have been in the clear. Smith using Snelders as a decoy. Showing his growing confidence here. Excellent play by Smith. Warmly applauded by the Aberdeen supporters. Here's Jess. He touched the ball with his left toe before attempting to strike with the right foot. But a very promising attack, that, all inspired by Gary Smith. And Ian Jess using his skills on the right to test the Dundee United defence. Kenny Miller has appeared now in the dugout with some instructions. Theo's Ten Cat getting some advice. Well, Ten Cat. Shearer. Deciding that tackle in the back was all right because Van der Hoorn got through the ball cleanly. Right, linking with Jess. In goes Patalainen, a fine header by the Finnish international. He acknowledges the quality of the cross from Jess. And that's justified all right. An outswinger, too far out for the keeper. Patalainen getting up so well to that. Trying to switch the play to the left. Jess is in the way for Aberdeen. Good pass from Richardson. Fine play by Stephen Wright. Back with Jess. Talon did well in the air. Down goes Shearer. The referee waves aside appeals for a penalty following the challenge by Van der Hoorn. Shearer perhaps the victim of his own dramatic art there, because he certainly went down as though poleaxed in circumstances where Van der Hoorn didn't appear to make much contact there. And the referee indeed is taking action against Duncan Shearer. It's a booking for Shearer for diving. Well, it's not very often seen, that kind of refereeing activity, but if that's the way the referee viewed it, he was justified. Ball played short by Winnie to Grant. Some variation there. Ten Cat to Shearer. Then almost squeezed underneath the goalkeeper's body. Well, Shearer came back from a lean scoring spell. He scored twice last week against St Johnstone. And he almost got this one past Alan Main. Good recovery by the keeper. Space here for Van der Hoorn. Good pass from O'Neill to McAnally. A chance again to take on Wright, but goes for the early cross, and again Snelders clearly made to feel uncomfortable by the presence of Ferguson once again. Well, Snelders again was in trouble here, coming to meet Ferguson, who couldn't get a touch on that. Bowman. There's Ferguson. Oh, a very good effort that by Duncan Ferguson. He had to improvise there on the run. And he almost troubled Snelders with this. First time flick with the outside of the left foot. Aberdeen manager not entirely happy, it would appear. This is Shearer, barged down again, this time by Cleland. Up quickly to take the free kick shot. Grant looking for Irvin. Right across to Jess. That's a good ball in. There's Patalainen. And Mixu Patalainen is very disappointed with his final effort there. He was above the United defence with a good opportunity for a header. The ball played back from the byline by Jess, the outswinger. Taylor made for Patalainen, who got up just a fraction too early, perhaps. Dennis with it quickly ahead of Crabb. That was Grant. Brought down by McKinley. Well, it's all very tough out there at the moment. It was Grant stepping away from McKinley. It was a clear foul, all right in front of the referee's eyes. Right to Jess. We're into the near post this time. Van der Hoorn was first to the ball. Main is committed, he's in trouble. And it's swept away in the end by Malpass, Irvin's header. Still has plenty of time here coming up his line. Well, this is good play by Aberdeen. Ian Jess with his teammate Stephen Wright going outside him for that cross. It was won well first time by Van der Hoorn. Then Main came for this but couldn't make clean contact. And that's when United were lucky to survive. Irvin's header here, played away by Malpass. Jess. Good elusive play once again. Shearer making for the byline. He's done well. And very good defending by John Clark. Well, John Clark undoubtedly saved the day there with that interception. Jess, so clever again with that pass. Shearer pulled it across, getting away from Malpass. Patalainen's header, and it's very close again. He's had a series of aerial attempts, Mixu Patalainen, without any joy so far, but he's a constant menace to the United defence. There's Tenkat, tackled by McKinley. Well, Tenkat felt that. The referee will allow some treatment. Damage to the right ankle, it would appear. Paul Stark offering instructions there to Jim McAnally, I think. And as Tenkat gets treatment, referee Bill Trumpy brings the first half to an end with honours even, although Aberdeen had more goal attempts, mainly through Mixu Patalainen's aerial power inside the penalty box. United getting off to a very brisk start, but they couldn't maintain that, and Aberdeen becoming more of a force as the game wore on. But at half-time at Pittodrie, it's Aberdeen 0, Dundee United 0. Aberdeen restart the match with the same 11 players as the ones who finished the first half, which means that Theo Tenkat has been patched up during the interval and he's back in place. But there's a very quick early injury in the match already, affecting Mixu Patalainen as Aberdeen come forward. Stephen Wright playing it in, that's Duncan Shearer's header. And Patalainen is back on his feet, but he's not looking too happy or comfortable. Winnie to Smith. That's for Irvin. Smith again. Good accurate pass that to Winnie. Well away from Crabb. A little bit of unpleasantness also off the ball between John Clark and Duncan Shearer. Well, the referee at the moment requires eyes at the back of his head. The marking has been so tight among the players. And there's Irvin, penalised for the challenge on Ferguson. Van der Hoorn's free kick. It's through there to McAnally, and a fine block by Snelders. Well, a very long, straightforward free kick found its way through to McAnally there. He had time for the shot, which Snelders blocked extremely well. There's Duncan Ferguson, and again Good handling by Snelders. First clear glimpse of goal for Ferguson in the match. Aberdeen living a little bit dangerously early in the second half. Here's the diving header from Duncan Ferguson. Headed away by Malpass, another throw to Aberdeen. Richardson playing it wide for Jess. The near post cross sliced away by Van der Haan for the corner. David Winnie makes the long trick across to the far side to take an in-swinger with his left foot. Now that 10 Cat is not available. Turned to him by Bowman. That's a fine effort by Winnie. He almost surprised Alan Main at the near post. And a good diving save in the end, the United keeper. But showing very good imagination there, Winnie. Main in trouble, there's Patalainen, and it's turned over again by Alan Main. Fine reaction stopped by the keeper. Well, they came into a ruck of players here on Main and try to get to this. Got a touch out. There was Patalainen, and the keeper made that excellent save. Throw given to United. Ferguson. And fine play there by Maurice Malpass. Snelders' handling was secure, but that was good play by the United captain. Led into his path there by Duncan Ferguson. He took that on the run and tested Snelders. Change being made now by Aberdeen. They're withdrawing Lee Richardson and introducing Paul Mason. Well, Richardson did enough in that first half in particular to indicate that he will be an asset to the Aberdeen squad. But this man has nothing to prove. He's been a fine player since arriving from Groningen back in 1988 for £160,000. Push there by Clark on Patalainen. So the referee adjusts the wall. There goes Shearer. That was very well hit indeed. Well, he controlled that extremely well. It was also good goalkeeping by Alan Main, who kept his body behind that. Wide of the wall, kept it down, and needed a good save. Here's Duncan Ferguson. Picked up by Mason. The kind of player who could produce that special bit of magic to turn again. Stephen Wright. Another player who could do something special, Ian Jess. Patalainen's header! It needed a touch from Shearer, and he wasn't far away. Alan Main would have had no answer had Shearer got a touch here. Good ball played in by Jess, and Patalainen getting up well to this, heading it across the face of the goal, just out of reach for Shearer. There will be a change made by Dundee United though. They're withdrawing Scott Crabb. Certainly has worked extremely hard up front. The replacement is young Paddy Connolly. He has to have the boots checked by the linesman. It is Gary Mitchell from Arbroath. Paul Kane. Interception by McInally. McKinley trying to release Connolly on the right. Gary Smith again showing his pace. And he managed to prevent a corner. Very quick indeed, Gary Smith. Way by Winnie as far as John Clark. Good pass that to Bowman. Kane forced to concede the corner, getting that behind in the near post area. Replacement ball arrives for what may be the last attempt on goal in the game. United pressing. O'Neill trying to get that across goal. Stephen Wright stepped in with the tackle. Well, could there be a dramatic finish? Here's Dave Bowman. Up goes the chance, it's in! The header by Duncan Ferguson deflected into the net of Gary Smith. And it's an incredible end to the match. Right inside the final minutes, Dundee United appeared to have maintained their splendid form at Pittodrie. The climb made there by Ferguson, and Gary Smith turned the ball beyond Theo Snelders to give United what looks to be a certain victory. Well, Duncan Ferguson will claim that. It certainly was on target, and I think he should be given the goal, because it was going between the posts and under the crossbar until Gary Smith left Snelders with no chance at all. The United supporters keeping a close eye on the referee, who's checking his watch all the time, checking his linesman. Kane sends it across. Hidden away by McInally to Ferguson. Away from Ryan Grant. There's Connolly, and the final whistle goes. United have snatched a dramatic victory. That header from Duncan Ferguson in the last minute ends an excellent Aberdeen run of 3 straight victories and brings United back into the league race after 2 very disappointing results against the Dundee Rangers. A bow taken there by Duncan Ferguson. He will acknowledge the assistance he got from the deflection from Gary Smith, but United battled diligently in defence. They dug in hard as Aberdeen turned the screw near the end, and they got the reward for that last-minute goal. It's Aberdeen 0, Dundee United 1.
Scott, after a very long time at Tynecastle, your first game for a new club, Dundee United, how did you feel it went?
Oh, very well. I thought the first 20 minutes the team played extremely well. I thought they were in command all the time, you know. They came right back into the game. I think maybe, if I'd be honest, a draw was probably the fair result. The big Duncan popped up and scored the winner.
How hard did you find it after really not playing too often for 90 minutes in the season so far?
Very hard. I tired near the end, you know, as everybody's seen. I came off with 10 minutes to go. But my last full game was against Rangers 2 weeks ago, and before that it was about 4 weeks ago. So I'm needing games just now, you know, but I thoroughly enjoyed it today.
Now, how did you feel about fitting into a new setup? Was that difficult for you?
Not bad. I mean, I think Dundee United play my style of football. We play it into feet, you know, and I think the first 15-20 minutes we did play that way, and I thought I'd done all right, you know. I was showing all the time, and I held it up quite well, but near the end I definitely tired, you know, but I can work on my fitness now.
Do you feel this is a move which can really revitalise your career?
Definitely. This is a club to learn things, I think, you know. There's not many players leave here, worse players, and I think that can only be good for me.
Now, you took quite some time to make up your mind to come in the end. What were the deciding factors?
I just think learning the game, you know, that was a big factor for me. I think I had loads to think about my family, you know, moving away from Edinburgh, being an Edinburgh lad all my life. So it was a massive decision for me to make overnight, you know. But now I've made it, I'm delighted to be here, and I just want to get on and score goals for Dundee United.
They've had a couple of bad results just before you arrived, a good victory today. Is the mood in the dressing room changed?
Absolutely delighted, the boys, after that. I had a bad result last week against Rangers, obviously, but I thought we showed great character today to come through and eventually take the 2 points.
Certainly did. Well done, and all the very best.
Thanks, Jock. Cheers. Cheers, mate.
Yes, 2 points, which Dundee United must be very pleased indeed with. Derek, these games, with one exception I can remember, an easy win for Aberdeen at Tannadice a few seasons back.
4-0 or
something like that. Yeah. But they tend to be very tight matches, don't
you
they?
normally need a crowbar to separate them, because, you know, both managers, tactically they're great, both managers. That's why you normally don't see many goals. And I mean, 90 minutes a game last night, and as we keep saying that, he scored in the first or the last. They all count.
They're obviously two clubs that you expect to be challenging for honours regularly. They weren't perhaps at their best today. It wasn't a great game, was it?
Well, Dundee United have gone there after being thrashed really by Rangers last week, so they're going there not to really lose goals, to try and get at least a point out of the game. and they'd be delighted with 2. Aberdeen have been a wee bit up and down this season, and they certainly had chances today, but unfortunately for them, they didn't take them.
We've heard from Scott Crabb. Let's see him in action. His first game for his new club. He's a good player. He's always scored goals, hasn't he?
Well, he is. I mean, as a centre-back, he's a nuisance player as far as I'm concerned. He's always at your feet. He never gives you a minute's peace. He'll chase and harass all the time. And that's the kind of player that Dundee United are looking for. They need somebody really alongside Duncan Ferguson that can take the little flicks and everything. You know, the two of them, they're trying to come by, and that will come. I mean, it didn't happen there, but I think once they play 5 or 6 games, it certainly will come to them. Here's big Duncan again. He's looking for his striking partner. Look, and he's unmarked there. I mean, a better ball, and he's through there. But once they play, as I say, half a dozen games, they'll be fine.
They'll build up an understanding. Alan Main was in splendid form for United today. Saved them in 2 or 3 occasions, didn't he?
He did. His handling was certainly good today, and he needed it. He lost 4 goals, as I keep saying, last week, and he needs to build up his confidence. And he certainly did that. He had 4 or 5 magnificent saves. And here's one that's a difficult one. A lot of players in front of him. It's a near post one. He's got to get down very, very quickly for that. And he has got a safe pair of hands. I mean, he's come out here, and look at the players in front of him. He's gone for it. He's punched it down. There's Shearer with a shot. Look at that save, the one-handed one on 4 Dundee United players behind him, but he doesn't need them. You know, tremendous reaction save. There's a blockbuster from Duncan Shearer. I mean, it's right at him. Look at them players coming in there. He drops it at all, and the ball's hitting the net. Yeah, good safe pair of hands today.
Yes, good handling there, wasn't there? Young Gary Smith is already being talked about as a future internationalist. Do you go along with that?
No doubts whatsoever. In the next couple of years, I think he'll be a certainty to play for Scotland, because he is a very, very confident player. When he comes out with defence, not only doesn't want to hump the ball up the park, always wants to be constructive with the ball, you know, and that just showed you there. From his own 18-yard box, he did the same thing. Comes forward here, that was his right foot. Now look, even confident enough there to pass the ball wide with his left foot as well. You can't beat that for a centre-back. Also reads the game very well there. There's a dangerous ball through here. Look, the challenge. And if he doesn't time that right, then it could have easily been a penalty kick for Dundee United. Tremendous player. Certainly will be a Scotland player in the future.
Yes, Aberdeen have found another good one for defence. Mind you, he did feature in the goal as well. And having had a controversial one at Parkhead in midweek when Jerry Craney scored, when a lot of the players thought John Collins had. Yeah. I wonder about this one. Who scored?
He obviously won't take it, but it certainly was his. I mean, Duncan Ferguson gets up magnificently. There's no doubts about that. The ball is heading for the goals, you could see. Theo Snelder, I think, may have got that hit, not hit off Gary, but really that's down as a noggy as far as I'm concerned. I mean, look how high Duncan gets here. Tremendous climb. I mean, head and shoulders above everybody. You see Theo going down for it, the player in the line. I think young Gary will be disappointed with that one.
It's one of those, the striker wants it, the defender doesn't, so give it to the striker.